All right, cool. We are recording, I think. Yep, we are. So welcome, everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce myself. Craig will introduce himself. I'll go over what to expect with OnPassive right before launch and go over some questions. What I'd like for you guys to do is type your question in the chat box. And Craig will read those, and then we'll try to answer those as best as we can. I'm going to go ahead and get started and introduce myself. Welcome. It's been long overdue since I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I wanted to do it before until we got confirmation that we're close to launching. And I want to let everybody know that we are close to launching. I have spoken to Ash personally, and he's also texted me and said that he won't give us a date, so don't ask that question, when are we going to launch. But I love the hat, by the way, Billy. Here, I got mine, but right there. So anyway, he won't give us a date as to launch. The reason why is because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts. So let me introduce myself first, and then I'll tell you why. My name is Mike Williams. I've been in the network marketing industry for over 20 years. I built a network of about 18,000 people in my very first network marketing company. I had the 2 kids and made a lot of money in that, but things didn't work out, and I'm now no longer in that. But my sponsor is a multimillionaire, and he's traveling all over the world doing conferences, and he's real close with believe it or not, the Kardashians. He goes on cruises with them. So the reason why I'm intrigued with network marketing is because I know it works. My sponsor in that original company, that was in the 80s, is now a multimillionaire, and all he does is travel. He doesn't even sponsor people anymore. I mean, he does, he can, but basically he makes his living just traveling and doing speeches. So I've dabbled in a lot of different network marketing companies, and as you know, a lot of them will start out great and then fizzle out within 2, 3, or years time. And this is why Ash created OnPassive, is because he's pretty much tired of companies. Actually, they're not called companies; they're programs, as you well know. They're not brick and mortar. They're basically pre-programmed programs that you can actually lease, and you can start up within a week. A lot of those already know that they're not going to make it a year or two, and then they're just in it for the short term. But anyway, I've been in a lot of those. I have made close to $20,000 a month in some of those Bitcoin mining programs, the pools. Been in 3 or 4 of those and made money, and then it collapsed. So I was looking for a company, and Craig can attest to this, that because we've been doing business quite a long time. I'm into residual income, where you can work hard for a year or 2, build a team, and reap the rewards for 10, 20, 30 years. And that's why I'm in OnPassive, is because this can happen. It's also amazing what Ash has achieved so far. Anyway, I just wanted to introduce myself. I wanted to get back to Craig. Craig's going to introduce himself, and then he's going to hand it back over to me, and I'll tell you why it's taking so long for OnPassive to launch. Go ahead, Craig.
Hi, guys. I'm Craig Shepard. I met Mike. I think we've been friends since 2014. We actually met in another business that we were part of several years ago. I've been in network marketing since I was 21. I just turned 46 this year. I got into it really early, right after I'd had my first child. My wife and I have a blended family. We have 6 kids, 3 grandkids. But when I was a young man and in my early 20s, I saw the power of networking, just because friends can help friends out, and people can be invested in, and you can reap the rewards when you invest in somebody else. It'll come back to you, because when they're successful, it helps you become successful. I learned that at a very young age, and I loved having a side income. Now, as far as side incomes go, there's been a lot of different things that I've tried over the years. But just as Mike had just attested to there, most of the time we get into something, it runs really good for a while. You make a little bit of money, you help some people out, but ultimately the program seems like it fails the members. And I think we can all attest to that. You've been a part of something that you invested a lot of time, a lot of sweat, equity into. You put your hands on things. You had to sell products, or you had to basically sell yourself. Because people will join people. They don't also, instead of just joining a program, they'll join the people that they're friends with or that they're associated with, and they get behind that. But these programs don't last very long. And just as Mike said, Ash has built something that will help everybody, regardless of your skill level, whether you've even tried network marketing or been a part of anything outside of a regular, a brick and mortar business, a 9-to-5 job type job. I think what he's got going right now is going to be huge, and I think it's going to help us with the residual income, because really that's where it's at. Commissions are great, getting bonuses is great, but residual income is where the money's at. That's what we all really want. We want to be able to build something up and then have it continue to build momentum and make more and more money each and every month as our teams begin to grow, and as we help more people and they help more people. It always seems to come back to us, and that's what's exciting about this. But Mike and I got started in a network marketing company in 2014 that was a travel company. And as many of you probably know, travel is one of the biggest billion-dollar industries out there. Travel and health wellness companies seem to do the best, but those products have to be sold, and you have to continue to build teams to make a lot of money. And there's a lot of good ones out there. I know there's a few of them that are probably still around. The ones that we joined, we did not one but two of those back to back, 2014 and another one in 2016, and neither one of those are thriving or flourishing today. I don't even know if they're still around. I'm not a part of them because the company and the product failed me. So I quit putting my time and effort into something that wasn't paying out the way it was supposed to. But enough about that. Enough about me. Mike and I are here to basically answer some questions and spend a few minutes with you guys. And like Mike said, we don't know that when this is going to launch. Ash hasn't announced that. Ash doesn't even really know, because he doesn't want to pull the trigger on the soft launch until everything's completely ready and he feels that it's a go. So I will go ahead and start answering questions while I hand this back to Mike, and then we'll kind of go from there.
All right, guys. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate that. So a couple of the questions that came up that keep coming up over and over again. Why is it taking so long for OnPassive to launch? I can take this whole webinar to answer that, but I'll try to answer that as quick as possible. The reason why is because it's so complicated and so so different than everything else that Ash has had this in his head for so long. He says, I'm going to complete this part and this part, but then he thinks about some other things that could help us. We were supposed to launch sometime last year, and then he thought about some other great ideas, and those haven't come out yet. But I can share a few things. Well, so the part with the India. So I do want to let you know that they opened a campus in India, and they have 3 different suites in India. They're filling those suites up now. They have 2 suites full, and they're starting to fill the 3rd suite up now. And the reason why is because we have different product levels. As you guys know, we have 4 different product levels: the 25, 125, 250, and 500. This compensation plan that he's come up with has to be attached to a product. So before we launch, we have to be in compliant, and he's already gotten with his legal team, and we have to have every single product ready when we launch. Reason why is if you come in and you buy the $500 level and you don't get a $500 product, the first thing someone's going to do is scream, hey, this is a scam. I didn't get my product. So as you can understand, we're creating these products from scratch. Okay. And the reason why is because we don't want to depend on these third-party companies. we're using Zoom to do this meeting right now. If Zoom decides they don't want to work with OnPassive, or if they go out of business, we no longer have that product. So the genius of what he's doing is he's gotten some very, very good IT people to create all these products and even try to make these products even better. As you know, I spoke about early on is we're using the free version of Zoom. And it only lasts 45 minutes, and you can only invite a certain amount of people. When we have this webinar service with OnPassive, it's unlimited, and you can stay on as long as you want, invite as many people as you want. Another product would be the email bulk service. The email bulk service, I paid thousands of dollars for in the past, and you can email. I had to get a server out of the UK, and that was costly also per month. So this is what I'm talking about. Someone mentioned earlier today is, if we go into recession, how is it going to affect us in OnPassive? Well, I think we would be in great shape because we own the products. And we don't have to depend on other third-party companies if they go out of business or if they're struggling or whatever. So this is one of the reasons why it's taken so long. We're hiring these people. Each product level has 7 to 10 people that are working on the product. And each 7 to 10 people have a supervisor, and then of course we have a manager over all the products. So we're training these people now currently, and they have been training for a month or two. So we're not only hiring and training over in India, but that they have to be completely ready before we launch. That's one of the reasons why even maybe Ash doesn't even know when we're going to launch. But I can tell you that Ash did tell me that everything is falling in place and everything looks very, very, very good. And they're getting up to speed, and they're very, very close. And that's all I know from Ash. He won't tell me the date. He probably doesn't know himself. I think he's delegating a lot of that responsibility to the head IT guy, which came from Amazon. He's supposed to be a master IT guy, and what that means in India means he's the best of the best. So once everything's ready and tested, I can tell you they're probably already moved us from GoFounders to the OnPassive matrix. And I'll kind of explain that real quick. I want to save some time for questions, but anyway, that's one of the reasons why we're launching so late, and we want to make sure that we're ready. I was in a program, again, I say program, not company, not too long ago with Craig, and we had a good 18,000 people in our downline, and it started off for 1 month. I got paid very well, but other people, because the payouts didn't pay out correctly, other people that were supposed to get, let's say, $100 were getting $1,000, and people that were supposed to get $10,000 like me only got $5,000. So the payouts weren't correct, and they came back asking people to send the money back. Of course, that ain't going to happen. So it only lasted 2 months and went under. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I brought that up to Ash when I had dinner with him, and I said we cannot launch until it's absolutely perfect. So not only are the IT team is going to test it before we even move it over, and then the founders are going to test it and make sure that everything's working right. And then once we have our private webinar with Ash, and everybody says, hey, I think we're ready, then we're going to start funding our accounts. So the founders will fund their accounts first, and then we'll see if everything's working, and then we will open up to the public. So, but I still think it's very, very close. Moving on to, go ahead, Craig.
Art asked a question, said, can you touch on how traffic is going to be generated to OnPassive and our sites?
Yeah.
And I can start on that. Everybody in here are paid founders, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there was a webinar here a couple weeks ago, and he actually touched on that. It was the hour and 25-minute webinar that they had last, and he did touch on that. He is currently working on marketing, and this guy, he's got an MIT for online business, marketing from Harvard. Ash is very, very brilliant and very, very smart, knows what he's doing. And one of the things that he tried, and he said that in the recording, is he set a goal to have a million opt-ins. And in the opt-ins, he wanted people that would be willing to give a name and either a phone number or an email address or both, and B, they would be willing to spend a couple of $100s to bring, to basically start up a business where they'd be able to earn residual income. It took him 4 days to get 1 million leads. Now, I want you to stop and think about that. That's an average of 250,000 leads, opt-ins. These are people that said, I want more information. I gave a name and either a phone number, email address, or both. 4 days, he had 1 million leads. That's unbelievable, because if anybody knows anything about marketing, one of the best things that you can do is put eyes on your website. That way they can get the information thereafter. So that's definitely one way he's doing it. He's also doing funnels. It's not just going to be email campaigns, but he's going to have funnels. He's going to have opt-in advertising. But I'll let you take that over, Mike. I just wanted to touch on that because I thought it was pretty amazing to get that many leads in such a short amount of time.
So that's a good question. They are dedicating a one department for doing all their advertising. Of course, they have to do that for the campaigns. And very unique marketing stuff. So they got the email campaigns, they've got text campaigns, and they've got advertising, and eventually, from what I hear, it's going to be TV commercials, but that's in the future. He's also bought or thinking about. He's already bought one, but he's also thinking about buying some other advertising agencies where they already have the leads, so this is millions of dollars of money that he's spending, I can't, and I myself don't know the exact details, but I can tell you that he's got millions and millions of leads, and he'll continue to do that. He will also have a marketing campaign team to help us with our funnels. He's got a team that will create new funnels and landing pages for us on a weekly basis. So last I heard was they're responsible for building us 1 page per week. And at the end of the year, can you imagine how many pages we're going to have to advertise other businesses and OnPassive? I know Tony wanted me to go over the spillover part, and I'll briefly do that. And then if you guys can start typing more questions, and we'll try to get that answered. And these are some of the questions that I've got.
We have another question there, but go ahead and talk about spillover.
Okay. So spillover, I'll give you an example. Let's say I sponsored 100 people, which I have, and I could only have my top 3 people that I sponsored that came in first will be in my first level. So those other 100 people or 97 people will have to go somewhere. So all of those people will start spilling under everyone else that I sponsored. Not only that, so let's say I sponsored, which there's a guy named Mike Woodard that's doing terrific. Jeanette Gasson was doing terrific. Chuck. Anyway, I've got quite a few people that have put in. Bruce, that you see right there in the right-hand corner, he's amazing. He's put in a ton of people. So you think about it, with the personals that I've done, Bruce, Jeanette, Chuck, Mike Woodard, and all these people, they're all going to spill under you eventually. You don't see it in GoFounders currently because all it shows is a unilevel, which is the people that you sponsor and the people that they sponsor, and so on, all the way to 15 levels in your back office. I can tell you, I look at my my back office and it's down to 10 levels, which is quite amazing. And that's just from the unilevel. So that's without us being moved over. So if you can imagine, our team's going to get lots of spillover. We're also going to get advertising from Ash. And then I'll mention something later on in another Zoom about how us leaders or some of you that you want to do what I'm going to be doing with returning 10% of my income back into advertising for everyone else, into a rotator. So this is going to be massive amounts of people coming into our team once we launch. you will be very surprised to see what happens in the first month of OnPassive. It's going to be amazing. So hopefully that answered your question, Tony, as far as spillover. Yes, even though you haven't sponsored one person in OnPassive, which I highly suggest getting at least 2 or 3, because once the marketing campaign starts, then you're not only getting just traffic for yourself, but you're getting 3 times. If you sponsor 3 people, you're getting 3 times the traffic because of the people underneath you. So one of the questions I got was, does it matter if I sponsor someone, or if you help other people and help sponsor other, help them get people? So it doesn't matter as far as the comp plan. If I sponsor 1,000 people, 2,000 people, I'm going to make the same amount of money as whether I have people in my downline sponsoring people. So this is why I want to put 10% back in and do a rotator, because it really doesn't matter who sponsors who. Everyone's going to make the same amount of money no matter what. But my goal is still to eventually to get 1,000 personals and 10,000 people on the team so I can become a global leader. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, so that's the great thing about that, is it doesn't matter with a forced matrix. With a forced matrix, it doesn't matter who brought them in. They have to fall somewhere. So whether you're building the team, whether someone underneath you is building the team, we're all helping each other out. That's the positive thing. Cliff said, know that there's ability to advertise multiple businesses. Is it possible to set those up now? I don't believe we're going to be able to do that in the GoFounders website. So until we go into the launch, I don't think that's going to be an option that we can set up in our back office.
Yeah, that's one of the products that we're going to get eventually. So we got to wait for OnPassive to launch. What you see in GoFounders is what we're going to be getting. There's not going to be anything additional to it. Originally, the GoFounders site was just temporary. It's supposed to be for 2 months, just to be able to get the information out to people to sponsor them as founders. And then we realized that that it's a great tool. And it was on a different server than OnPassive was on. So if you guys remember, the emails would stop after 500, I think it was 5,000 emails a day. The email system would stop because it was going through a different server. They have now incorporated GoFounders within the OnPassive servers, and it's going to be an attachment to the OnPassive web back office. So only us founders will have access to that tab within the OnPassive website. So there will be some stuff added later on once we launch in OnPassive. So anyway, what else?
Another question says, in a previous post, you'd mentioned reinvesting, into OnPassive. What is your vision to accomplish that, and how can we participate? You kind of touched on that a little bit ago when you said that we were going to probably do another Zoom on that, but if you want to just kind of briefly answer how we can reinvest in OnPassive.
So what I'm going to be doing is the money that I'm going to be making, and I expect a good payout right from the get-go. I'm going to be reinvesting 10% of that money back into advertising. There's some great places that you can get great advertising. And what I'm going to do is set up a rotator. I have a rotator now, but I have no idea if OnPassive is going to have a rotator. But what I'll be doing is setting up a form, and you guys can do the same exact thing I'm doing if you'd like to. And it would only help everyone else if you did this. But I'm going to set up a form in Google Forms. You're going to put your link if you're part of my team. You're going to put your link on that form. I'm going to put every single link in the rotator, just kind of what Ash is doing. And I'm going to buy advertisement. If you happen to get someone that does a sale, when they click on your link, you get a person. So I'm going to be doing that 10%. I'm also going to be putting in, I'm probably going to, and I'm spilling the beans here, but I'm going to probably put in the first 100 people that are serious, and pay that for them the $25 level and just get them in. But they've got to commit and tell me that they're serious about this business. I just don't want to throw out $25 to 100 people and then, kind of just saying, oh, well, this is free. So that's what I will be doing. If you guys want to do the same, can you imagine the momentum that if 10 to 20 people do the same thing, the momentum that will be created within the group? That would be awesome.
Okay, next question says, is the system ready for us to upload a list? I have some network lists that I purchased. I think we had already kind of answered that there, that right now under the GoFounders website, we don't have the full functionality that we're going to have after it launches. So I don't believe that's going to be a possibility.
Let me touch on that real quick, Craig, because running out of time. We removed your 40-minute limit on your group.
You just got upgraded.
Well, I'm not paying the bill. I'm just kidding. So anyway, let me touch on that real quick, because there's a broadcast bulk mailer in the back office of GoFounders. I test that like every week. Right now I would not use that. I would wait for OnPassive to launch, and the bulk emailer there will do the trick. For some reason, every time I test it, I get like I put in my comments, please respond to my email if you get this, and I get about 5 or 6 people out of over 100 people to respond back to me and saying that they got it, and then the other 80 something whatever did not get that email. So I would not use that currently. Everything else in the back office works perfectly. If you do want to send something out, I know it's tedious, but I've done it. I have on my invites, I've got close to 300 people in there. I send them out individually. It took me hours to do it. But if you go in the back office and click next to their name with the email button, it will go to them, because it seems like it's going on a different server than the bulk part does. So if you do want to email people, the opportunity, you can do it individually, but I would not use the bulk broadcast emailer.
Okay. Got a couple of comments here. Looks like next question says, is the founders positions officially stopped for new opt-ins?
No,
they're not. You can still bring founders in. They can still be a part of the upper echelon, and what Ash likes to call the upper 1%, still $97. So, and he's given us plenty of tools in our back office to utilize, with the links that you have back there that you can send. You can send those links, and it's pretty cool because most people have smartphones nowadays. You can send that link in a smartphone text message, and it will work. I can attest to that because I have a friend of mine that at work that wants in on this, and that's how he's signed up. He signed up on a Samsung Galaxy phone. So the links do work. If you use that the trim tool, it's going to be a really short link that you send. The trim tool works, which that in itself is a great tool to have back there. But yeah, you can still add founders today. And
I just want to emphasize that we have no idea when he's going to end founders, but I can tell you this: when he comes out with a private webinar and he says, we're going to end the founders positions, I can tell you that we're very, very close to launching.
Okay.
And testing.
All right, next question. When OnPassive launches, we will be initially able to arrange the founders we enrolled in the order that we would like. I don't think we're going to get to rearrange, but I'll let Mike talk about this because there is a specific order in which they will go in for the soft launch. And I'll let that.
Rearranging, this is really bad for a company even if the owner would rearrange people's positions in companies, because it destroys the company if that were to happen. But anyway, the way it works is by the date that they joined as a founder, when they paid the $97, and then they got that email that says approved, and it went through, that date that's in your back office, that's how you're going to be coming into the company force matrix, by date. Now, if I have a few that have came in on the same day, So if they came in on the same day, then it goes to how many people, if 3 people came in on the same day, it's how many people did each one of those sponsor. So if Bruce came in with Craig and Billy at the same day, and Bruce had 100 people he sponsored, Craig had 50, and Billy had 20, it would be Bruce that would come in first for that day. But it really doesn't matter because you're going to probably be in the same level. Yeah, Bruce. You got a question? Go ahead, type it in. Go ahead and type it in the chat. We'll answer it.
Yeah, I mean, the positive thing about that, the positive thing about the way he's going to place this is that he's trying to create the best amount of momentum at the launch period that he could possibly position it. I mean, it's ingenious what he's wanting to do, but it's going to position us to where we have instant spillover for our down numbers. And that's the best way to think about it, is that he's going to position it, top to bottom. He's going to put us in a position where we have instant spillover. It helps everybody on board. It helps our team. And because we came in early, as founders, we reap all the benefits of the growth here on after. So it's a really great, awesome way to do it, in my opinion.
So I do want to go over some important things that I talk about to Craig and many other people about OnPassive and what makes this exciting as far as the comp plan. There's lots to it, but the 2 things that I love the most is the automatic system, the automation, where you automatically get upgraded to the next level. So if you're in the $25 or $125 level, let's say you're in the $125 level, and once you reach $250, you will automatically be upgraded to the next level and be able to start withdrawing money out of there. What I do want to cover with you guys is you do not have to come in at the $500 level, which would be a total of $900 right away if you don't want to. If you do, it'd be great because it's a one-time out of payment and you never have to pay that again because everything comes from profits. But if you don't have that kind of money, you can come in at, I highly suggest everybody coming in at the $125 level, which would be $150 total, 25 in the first level and then 125. The reason why is because you will get the automatic traffic attached to your link, and you will get Ash's marketing campaign in the $125 level. But grant this, so understand this. So if you have a decent team, let's say you have 100 people underneath you and on your team, and some of those people upgrade to the $500 level, but you're only in the $125 level, you will still get those commissions in the $500 level. They will just be sitting there waiting for you to upgrade to the 500. It does not go up to me. It doesn't go up to your sponsor. It doesn't go up to Ash. It doesn't go up to the company. It stays in your account until you get there. So you will, from what I understand, is you will get an email saying, hey, you got $300 waiting for you in the $500 account. Once you upgrade, then you will be able to withdraw this money. That is unbelievable. That I've never, Craig and I have been doing this for a long time, and we have never seen anything like that before. Everything we've ever done before is that money gets moved up to the next person that bought that higher package. So that's why a lot of people are going to succeed in this, is because it's amazing because everybody gets that money, not just the people that do real well as far as sponsoring. So those are the 2 things why I think that OnPassive is a lot different. I can't go over what Ash mentioned in the last private webinar because I don't want it to get out, but he did mention something that is phenomenal with the comp plan, and I can't wait to launch to see that happening, because I can't even imagine this new process that he came up with and how fast that's going to build momentum.
Okay, he's got another part of that question said, my understanding the number of founders you signed up would weigh in on everyone. Say I started on August 19th, signed up 2. Bob joined on November 11th, and he signed up 10. He would move ahead of me.
No.
Is that correct? Now, see, I thought it was also just like you'd said before. It's going to be by the date that you joined, and then when people come in
Yep.
your downline on the same day, at the same time, it's going to look and see who's got more people that they've invited in as founders as well.
Nobody skips anybody in the matrix. You come in by the date that you join, and nobody skips any levels. Nobody gets moved or anything. So it's by the date that you come in.
Okay.
Anything else, Bruce? I
That's
know
it.
you got a question. Can you want to type it in there? Yeah.
He's muted there. Let me see if I can unmute him.
Okay.
You can unmute him. You have to click on his picture and unmute him.
I'm looking for him in the thing. Hold on.
Oh, he said that was it. Cannot pass the founder that you signed up with. That was it. That was the question.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, Bruce.
But anyway, amazing opportunity. I know we've been waiting a long time, and there's good reasons why, because this is not a program. This is an actual brick and mortar corporate office. I have been to Orlando. I've met Ash 3 times. I sat down, ate dinner with him. He scribbled on the table for good 2-3 hours telling me why other companies did not succeed and why his will. I believe him. I've been doing this a long time. I'm pretty good with numbers, and I know that what he's come up with is simply amazing. And I'm excited about it. I am not promoting anything else right now, because I will in the future, because we're going to have the tools to promote any business. But right now I'm focused on OnPassive and building the biggest team I can get with OnPassive. And then we will be able to do other businesses if it looks like they're going to stay in business 5-10 years. I'm only getting into other programs or businesses that look like they're going to last 10, 15, 20 years. No longer am I going to get into something that's a program that's going to net you 10% interest a day, and then 6 months from now it's going to go under. Yes, I could do that and make money right now, but what I'm doing is failing my people and failing my followers. So I'm not going to do that going forward. I think we covered a lot of different things. We can do another Zoom at some other time and hopefully get some more people and get some more questions. But I think that answered a lot of questions. I am excited, and I will keep updating the Facebook group with what I know. Ash did text me. I didn't share this. Let me read this to you. He did text me the other day, and he wrote, I might have wrote this, I'm not sure. He wrote, "Hello, Mike. Great work. Thanks a lot. We are totally on it. Looking great. Hope you are doing well, and see you soon." And the reason why he said "see you soon" is because I asked him, when should I buy my airplane ticket to see you in Orlando? So that is significant, because see you soon means we have to be getting pretty close. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are, and I hope this answers some of your questions, and we will have another webinar soon. I'm going to try my best to I'm sure you guys have understand the GoFounders back office, but I'll probably just do a little video to explain some of the things that you can use it for. Some people don't know how to get into the community and how to search people's posts, and there is a way to do that, and I'll do that on a video and post that in the Facebook group. Anything else, Craig?
I think we've covered it.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys gain a little bit more knowledge with this webinar, and it has been recorded. I'll put it in the group, and then hopefully we'll have another one soon. And as soon as I hear something, I'll let you guys know. Thanks for joining, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.